Let me tell you about the day I thought my life was set. I'm Thomas, 22 years old, sitting on my grandmother's couch in the same sweatshirt I wore to every final exam. Diploma still in the envelope, graduation cap on the coffee table. Family keeps hugging me like I just won something. My uncle shakes my hand, firm grip, eye contact. Thomas, once you hit that 100,000, you're done. That's the number. My mom nods. My dad stands behind her with that proud but quiet face he makes. He raised 3 kids on 58,000 a year. So when uncle says 100 grand is the finish line, everybody in that room believes it. In my head, I'm already picturing it. A decent house, a reliable car. That feeling when the bills arrive and you just pay them. No stress, no math, just breathing. That was Thomas at 22. Now meet Thomas at 30. I'm at a nice restaurant. Candle on the table. Menu I can actually afford without checking prices first. My phone buzzes, it's the offer letter. Base salary $100,000. I stare at the number for 10 solid seconds. Then I order the most expensive thing on the menu to celebrate. Because that's what you do, right? A few weeks later, I'm sitting at my dining table. Alone. Same table, same chair. I open my banking app. First real paycheck from the new job, direct deposit. $5,500. No envelope to tear open. No confetti. Just a number on a screen. I stare at it. I blink. I look around my apartment like maybe the rest of the money is hiding somewhere. I glance at my wrist, the watch I bought to celebrate. $300 I probably shouldn't have spent, and I say it out loud to nobody. Wait, this is it? This is the number? Where's the rest? Nobody tells you that $100,000 a year isn't a pile of gold. It's $5,500 a month, and by the time you're done being an adult, most of it's already gone. That's where this story starts. Let's start with the math nobody shows you. Gross income, $100,000. That's the number on the offer letter. That's what you tell your friends at dinner. That number is not the truth. My dad bought his first house in 1995 for $82,000. I pay more than that in rent over 5 years. The rules changed, but nobody updated the goalpost. Here's what actually happens when you earn 100 grand. A giant envelope arrives. You tear it open. Inside is the number you've been chasing your whole life, $100,000. Then a hand reaches down and pulls out a chunk labeled federal tax. Another chunk, FICA. Another, state tax. Step by step. Standard deduction. First $15,000 is tax-free. Taxable income, $85,000. Sounds good so far. Federal income tax for a single filer in 2026, roughly $13,600. 3 slices of the pie right there. FICA, Social Security and Medicare, 7.65%. No deductions, no mercy. $7,650 leaving my account, and I have no idea if I'll ever see it again. State income tax, roughly $5,000, depending where you live. Added up. Federal tax, $13,600. FICA, $7,650. State tax, roughly $5,000. Total deductions, $26,250 every single year. Before I pay a single bill, before I buy one meal, before I save a single cent. What's left? $73,750. Divide by 12, roughly $5,500 a month. That's the $100,000 everybody told me would set me free. One number on the offer letter, a much smaller number in my checking account, and we haven't even started spending yet. First deduction out of my paycheck, my 401k, 6% for the company match, $6,000 a year into retirement. I can't touch for decades. Smart, but it lowers my take home. Health insurance, $150 a month, $1,800 a year. I don't even go to the doctor, but you have to have it because America. My actual monthly deposit after all that, $5,500. Write it on the whiteboard, $5,500 per month. Now the part that hurts, rent, $2,100. A decent 1-bedroom in a mid-sized city. Not Denver, not Nashville, somewhere in between. This isn't luxury, this is just existing indoors. Student loans, $450. State school, worked part-time, still owe $36,000. $450 for 8 more years. Car payment plus insurance plus gas, $760. It's a Honda Civic, not a BMW, but the used market is insane and full coverage insurance costs almost $200 a month. Food, $500. I cook most of my meals, I meal prep on Sundays, but groceries are expensive, and sometimes I forget my Tupperware. Utilities, phone, internet, streaming, $510. Electric, water, phone plan, Wi-Fi, and 2 streaming services because I'm not a savage. Let's add it up. Rent, $2,100. Loans, $450. Car, $760. Food, $500. Utilities, $510. Total fixed expenses, $4,320. Take home is 5,500, subtract 4,320, what's left? $1,180. That's my $100,000 lifestyle. $1,180 for everything else in my life. $1,180. That number orbits my head every single day. 3 boxes that should be full: emergency fund, brokerage, savings, all empty. Financial experts say save 20% of your income. For me, that's $1,100 a month. What do I have left after bills? $1,180. So if I save 20%, bare minimum of being a responsible adult, I have $80 left. $80 for entertainment, clothes, gifts, emergencies. 2 lunches out, 1 Uber across town, a single movie ticket with popcorn. $100,000 a year, $80 of fun money. And before you say I'm doing something wrong, I drive a Honda Civic, not a truck, not an SUV. I live in a 1-bedroom, not a penthouse. I cook my own meals. My budgeting app gives me a gold star. Great job, it says. And I still have $80. So what's going on? Why does 100 grand feel like 50? 2 forces, both crushing you at the same time. Force 1, cost of living. Since 2020, rent in my city is up 35%. Car insurance up 50%. Groceries up 25%. My salary went up, but the world got more expensive faster than I could earn. The cost line shoots straight up. The salary line crawls. The gap widens every single year. $100,000 in 2024 bought what $70,000 bought in 2014. I moved from the coast to the middle of the country, and my purchasing power is still behind. Force 2, lifestyle creep. This one is sneaky, silent. When I was 22, I wore a Seiko that cost $120. By 30, I was looking at $2,000 watches. Not because I needed one, because I could technically afford the payment. I drove a Civic. Then I saw my coworkers' leased SUV. I started noticing my Civic's age. Started thinking maybe I deserved something newer. I cooked at home. Then I had a long week. Then 2. Then DoorDash became a habit. 25 here, 30 there. $28 for pasta I could make for $4. Before I know it, my $1,180 gets nibbled from every direction. $200 on DoorDash, $150 on a lease upgrade I didn't need, $100 on whiskey I didn't even finish. Suddenly, I have $430 left. It's not one big purchase that breaks you. It's the slow, steady expansion of your lifestyle until your income and your spending are perfectly matched, no matter how much you earn. There's a name for this. Hedonic adaptation. You get a raise, you adjust, you get another, you adjust again. You're on a treadmill, the belt speeds up, you never get anywhere. $100,000 wasn't the finish line, it was just the speed I was running. Here's something that stopped me cold. 43% of American households make $100,000 or more. 43 out of every 100, you're not in an exclusive club. The median household income is $83,700. You're 20% above average. That's a bump. That's not winning the game. And that's gross income. Before $26,000 in taxes, before rent, before everything. $100,000 gross is not wealth, it's breathing room. Barely. What actually matters is what you keep. A salary is a number on a contract. It can disappear. Your company restructures, your industry changes, your health fails, and suddenly that $100,000 is zero. Net worth is what you own, your assets, your investments, your retirement accounts. That's what survives. Let me show you 2 people. Person A makes $100,000. Nice SUV, decent apartment, eats out 3 times a week, looks successful, savings account empty, credit card balance growing, net worth 0, looks rich, feels broke. Person B makes $60,000, 12-year-old sedan with a dent in the door, modest apartment, but $400 goes into a brokerage account every single month without fail. Run the numbers. Person B invests $400 a month from age 35 to 65 in the S&P 500, averaging 10% annual returns. After 30 years, over $500,000. Person A, still making $100 grand, still spending everything, still has 0. 60,000 with discipline beats 100,000 with lifestyle creep. Every single time. Compound interest is the most powerful force in personal finance. Einstein called it the 8th wonder of the world. Charlie Munger said the first rule is never interrupted unnecessarily. $100,000 invested at 7% doubles in 10 years to 200,000, then 400, then 800. The numbers are almost unfair. The first 100,000 is brutal. It means walking instead of Ubering, cooking instead of ordering, saying no to the $18 pasta. But once you get there, the money starts doing the work for you. The second 100,000 is easier. The third is easier still, because compound interest is exponential. It rewards patience ruthlessly. There's a wall. On one side, salary chasers on treadmills, running faster, spending more, exhausted. On the other side, wealth builders who live below their means and let time do the heavy lifting. They're not running, their money is working for them. The wall is the first $100,000 invested. Everything before that wall is sacrifice. Everything after is momentum. I spent my entire 20s aiming at the wrong target. Picture young Thomas with a bow and arrow. I'm aiming at a target that says $100,000 salary. It's big, bright, everybody's pointing at it. My mom, my dad, my uncle, every graduation speaker, every career counselor, all pointing at the same target. But there's another target, off to the side, smaller, less obvious. It says $100,000 invested. Nobody, not one single person, told me that was the real target. The salary target is a plastic trophy. Everybody gets one if they work hard enough. It's participation. It looks good on Instagram but doesn't change your life. The invested target is the golden door. That's what buys your freedom. That's what lets you sleep peacefully while your money multiplies in the background. I had to change my target. Instead of asking how do I make more money, I started asking how do I keep more money. Instead of driving past my brokerage account to buy something shiny, I started driving straight to the brokerage account. Instead of impressing my coworkers with my apartment, I started impressing my 65-year-old self with my portfolio. Because at 65, you will not care what your coworkers thought of your couch. You will care very much about whether you can stop working. There's a crossroads in every financial life. Left path, shiny car, $900 a month, dead end. Right path, used car plus $900 a month into the market, freedom at the end. Both paths cost the same. One leads somewhere, whose opinion actually matters. The people who see your car, or the 65-year-old version of you who's either retired or still working. Run the actual worksheet. Start with 100,000. Subtract 26 in taxes. Subtract 25 in rent. Subtract 5 in loans. Subtract everything else. What's left forces you to be honest. 100 grand isn't the prize, it's the entry fee. Local man makes $100,000. Great headline. Read the fine print. Actual spending money, $1,180 per month. I negotiated a different raise. Not with my boss, with myself. I sat down, looked in the mirror and said, Thomas, you're saving $400 a month before you spend a dime on anything stupid. That was the raise that actually mattered, because a $5,000 raise spent changes nothing. But a $5,000 raise invested at 10% for 30 years becomes $87,000. One raise. Invested, nearly $100,000. The $100,000 salary is not the summit, it's base camp. Above it are real peaks. 100,000 invested, 500,000, a million, actual financial freedom. If you stop at base camp and start celebrating, you freeze. There's a chasm between where you are and freedom. Earn more doesn't bridge it, not by itself. Side hustle is a rope that breaks. Lottery is a hallucination. The only bridge that reaches the other side is own assets. Invest. Let time work. That's the paradigm shift. So where am I now? Same apartment, same Civic, same Seiko watch. My life doesn't look different. I didn't upgrade anything. I didn't buy anything. But my brokerage account says $41,000. It's not $1 million. I'm not retiring tomorrow, but it's growing. Green arrows every month. Compound interest doing its quiet work in the background. And I'm not obsessed. I'm not checking it every hour. I'm living my life. Eating home-cooked pasta. Driving my dented Civic. Watching my money grow without having to run faster. Before, I was confused. Making $100,000, feeling broke. Couldn't figure out where the money went. Failing at a game I didn't understand. After, I'm calm. I understand the game now, and I'm playing the right one. 2 games. The salary game, sit in meetings, chase promotions, spend your raises, impress people you don't like, retire broke, hamster wheel, feels good for about a week after each raise. The ownership game, earn decent money, live below your means, invest the difference, ignore what other people think, let compound interest do the heavy lifting. Staircase, slow at first, but it actually goes somewhere. One game gives you a W-2 that says 100 grand, the other gives you a net worth statement that grows every quarter. Nobody told me this. School doesn't teach it. Family probably doesn't know it. The culture actively fights it, because quiet wealth doesn't sell ads. But now you know. $100,000 is just a number. Without the ghosts of taxes, rent, loans, and lifestyle creep hovering around it, it's a number on a piece of paper. Pull back far enough and you see the real picture. 100,000 invested leads to 500,000. 500 leads to 1 million. 1 million leads to freedom. The only way to start that chain is to stop treating your salary like your score and start treating your net worth like the only number that matters. If this video changed the way you think about money, if you were sitting on that couch with 22-year-old Thomas and now you see it, hit the like button. Not because I need the engagement, because it's a way of saying I see it now. Drop a comment. Tell me what age you are and what you thought 100 grand would feel like. I read every single one, and I want to know how many of you were as wrong as I was. And if you're ready to stop playing the salary game and start playing the ownership game, hit subscribe. Because this channel is about one thing, the truth about money that nobody tells you. I'm Thomas, I make $100,000 a year, and I'm finally building something real. See you on the other side of base camp.